Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley. We just finished up our July challenge where we were able to declutter approximately 600 items from my house in only 10 minutes a day, trying to find 10 items. And so I feel super accomplished, and I'm really excited to start reorganizing our home because of the free space that we've been able to find. We decluttered this small pantry and what is now our coffee bar during the July challenge. And so what I want to do is flip the function of this space. This area is directly off of our laundry room, so it's as soon as you walk in our back door. This tends to be a hot spot, and it's not really used for anything other than coffee and snacks, junk food, that kind of thing. So what I actually want to do is flip this into a command center to be able to have all of our charging devices here because it's far away from where I actually cook. And currently I have a charging station that I've showed you guys in previous videos that's over there in the main part of my kitchen. It's more of a valuable part of real estate of our kitchen. So we're going to rehome this coffee and snack area to my buffet. Here's where I was standing, and here is where the coffee bar is going to be located at now with my refrigerator. What I'm trying to do is love my home exactly where it is. This buffet was actually in our dining room, and we are in the process of flipping our dining room into a playroom for my son because I would rather him use that space multiple times a day. It's a safe place where I can see him while I'm in the kitchen cooking, and he can play independently. I sold my dining room table. I really liked my buffet table. What I thought I would do is, instead of selling it, repurpose it into a coffee bar. It may not be something that most people would use a buffet table for, but I thought, why not flip the function of it? It's something that we already have. I would not have to purchase anything to make a coffee bar, and this space of my kitchen was not utilized. So if you're new to the channel, this may look a little odd. It's an unfinished wall. We started painting this when I found out that I was pregnant, and I didn't want to finish painting while I was pregnant or after my son was newly born. And so we now are going to try to finish this space. I love doing little things to bless our home, to make us love our home exactly where our home is at. So I hope this encourages you today as you watch this video to take something that's maybe an awkward space or a piece of furniture that you're not even really using that much anymore, or that could be utilized better. Flip the function of that space and of the cabinet to serve your family and to learn to love your home exactly where it is. It's crazy when you tweak a few little things in the house, something that could have seemed like an unused space, eyesore, or not functioning, or something that you didn't necessarily love. It really makes you feel excited about the space, use the space, and it really, to me, makes me love my home a little bit more. Because our house is small, a lot of our things have to be multi-purpose. What we're going to try to do is turn this into a coffee and snack bar. We'll get a ton of things out of that space that I showed you over there and free up some of that space and hopefully utilize it here. We're going to do teas first, and what I wanted to do is use this drawer to the far side. The drawer has got 3 partitions, and so I think it's the perfect space to be able to put teas. And because it's on the back, more awkward side of this space, they tend to be the least used items. I do drink tea, but not as often as coffee, to be honest. And so this, because it's on the back side of this cabinet and a little bit more in an awkward space, will be perfect because it's a less frequently used item. So it's a little bit odd of a space to try to film in, but what I'm going to do is just try to wipe this drawer out real fast before we get started with putting items in it. Oh, wow. So because it's an older cabinet, it does have like the green felt inside of it. I wonder if I could take that out. It's not my favorite. Think we can. Think we can. Trying to relocate this drawer. I just pulled it out so that you guys could kind of see better, hopefully. I'm just going to take and pop these in and see if they fit. I'm going to try to kind of organize them by different kinds of teas. So here's like green teas. I think I'm going to put my most used teas on the one side where I can easily grab them. Friends, I did not realize how much tea that I had. I think it was because it was in an unused space in my kitchen, a drawer that I didn't really tend to look in or gravitate to using. And so I'm really excited that I've got this relocated now to enjoy it, because I do enjoy tea, green tea, and especially the chai tea, like I said. These are actually out of date. Best if used by 2023. I didn't catch that one decluttering, so we're going to throw this one away. Because I have so many bins and I didn't measure to use them or specifically buy them for this purpose that we're working on here, I'm taking the time to try to fit them for the space to see which one fits the best without moving and sliding around in my cabinet to be able to use. We're again just reutilizing the things that I already had in my house. So a lot of this stuff is mixed matched. But I do have to say that I'm very pleased with how all of this turns out. If you guys have recently flipped the function of something in your house, leave me a comment down below letting me know what you flipped and how well you like it. Oh, those fit perfect. Perfect. Watching this back while I'm editing, I don't know that it was actually necessary that I cut out the labels on the tea boxes. The bags do have the individual names on it, so moving forward I may not do that if the types of tea change. So evidently I did not go through these too well because these are actually out of date too. We'll get rid of those. It really took me a while to go through this drawer, but I'm really glad that I got it done because I loved how it turned out. So we have the tea done. Now the next thing that I want to try to figure out is where I'm going to put drinks, mixes, and where I'm going to put the coffee. I don't think these drawers are the same depth, but we're going to check. So 5. Okay, yeah, so it's about an inch difference. This is currently our drink station, and these little canisters work really, really well for them, at least the way that they've been stored so far. So let me take these down. I also had open ones that were kind of mixed matched in these containers. So let's see if these will even fit in the top of that cabinet. I want to see if these will fit here. So I need to take all of these organization bins out, which I'm hoping to be able to use in here if these don't work. And even if I need to take them out, of the containers that you buy them in. That will be okay too. So I'm gonna spray this out. This is kind of the contact paper that was in here when I bought this from another lady, and it cleans easy. So instead of stripping it down to the wood, because I'm not sure if there's stains underneath it or whatever, I'm just gonna leave this in place, because that way if the drink powders get spilled, it's easy to clean. I took the other felt out of the other one because that would have been harder to clean than just the straight wood. So, all right, that's wiped down. Now, let's see if these fit. Oh, I don't think they're gonna fit upright. No, okay. The reason that I like them to be into those boxes specifically is because it's easy to count to see how many I have when I go to the grocery store, to see if I need to buy more of them or not. So let's see. I could just decant them, and as I buy them, throw them into the bin itself, because the bins do fit. They do fit. All right, so I can do that. Or what else could we do? So if we had those, all 3 of them, or 4 of those. I tried to have them divided up by flavors, like watermelon, berry, fruit punch, and then these are the ones, the Hawaiian punch is the ones my husband loves, but is that gonna work the best now? What I would tend to do is open one of them and have the loose packets here easy to grab each time that I needed one, because I also put these into my purse, into a little pocket pouch that I take with us into the restaurants. And so it was just easy to keep up with them with the system. So let me think. I also liked that I didn't have to decant them as soon as I came home. They could be inside these little boxes until I needed them. So it was less steps when I came home from the grocery store. So let's see, what are our options? We have these big containers here, and I have 3 of these. So one of my big goals in this video is to reuse as many things as I can here in my house without having to buy more things, because I already have a ton of organization things here at the house. So let's just see if we wipe all of these out. I like the fact that if you can, yeah, you can see this, like right here, this little rounded plastic edge. I love the fact that I could label this easily with each flavor, which you can see them easily too. So I don't know that they would necessarily have to be relabeled, but maybe that would make it easier for some. So my husband's favorite is this Hawaiian punch. So let's just, if I go ahead and decant it, it's less stuff that I'm having to store here at the house. I can go ahead and get rid of the boxes. I should be able to still see that we're running low easily. So there's the red that he loves. And that will be easier, instead of having to fool with a box each time, it will be easier to just grab and fill up my purse as well. So the other flavors that he loves is this purple. See if they'll just stand up here in the back. Maybe I can use one of these white ones to kind of just put here and separate them. I don't tend to buy as many of this flavor, and then that way he can easily see, and it will still close. And I think if I get some of that museum putty, that this will stay in place easy. So I may get some. Right now they're at least separated. Next are the ones that I love. If you've not tried this True Lemon, they are absolutely delicious. Wild berry lemonade is my absolute favorite, but the watermelon comes in as a second. And then the blueberry is also delicious. I've only seen the blueberry on Amazon or at Walmart, but I tend to get ours at Ingles. So there's the wild berry, and again, all these boxes are now getting to leave. The watermelon can be next. That one's mixed up. That's an energy fizz stick that we also like. That is more natural. Okay, wild watermelon. Okay, so the raspberry we didn't like. Raspberry, some of these must have gotten missed. They must have been in a separate container, like the wrong box when I was going through and decluttering, so we're gonna toss those too. Fruit punch is my son's favorite. Okay, so there's the fruit punch. Then I also have a pink lemonade. Which is also a kid's flavor. It has them split up all in one area, the favorites of everybody. And as a plus, we're getting rid of all of these boxes. One thing I've heard from like the clutter bug that says the one way that you want to make sure that a certain system stays in function for your home the best is to take away the least amount of obstacles to use the system. So by the fact that we're taking this out of the box, it's removing an obstacle to continue using this system. We can open this drawer and all you have to do is reach in and grab the one that you want. So, may not be a perfect system and it may not be Pinterest worthy, but it'll be super functional, I think, for our family. So now I'm gonna try to go through here, and I think this is just like a mix match of when they would get opened. Some of them are energy boosters, so I'll put these over here for my husband, and then we will split these if I have some that are the same flavor. My little man was awake while I was trying to organize this cabinet, so you might hear him playing in the background. And we'll just categorize these as all energy options to be able to easily grab. These are strawberry. They're okay. They're not like our absolute favorite, but they're not one that I would necessarily feel like we need to throw away. So we can finish using those up and then maybe move these options around. I did have this peppermint lavender tea that I had bought at the farmer's market I wanted to try, and it didn't fit into the tea drawer, so I'll set that right there. And I think that gets all of our drink mixes. Let me just look. So yeah. Alright, so we also have chocolate Nesquik that my husband loves. And what else? Drink option. This bin here was originally just for coffee, but my bin for pasta has gotten overflowed because this cabinet is a multi-purpose cabinet like the majority of our house. And so I'm going to leave the pasta over here so that we can try to regroup this. We'll take the Nesquik over there, all of this chocolate mix. We're going to rehome to our coffee bar, as well as the sugar and our coffee filters. And I think the rest of this is snacky type stuff here, cookies, and then snacks here. So down here too also had become my overflow for coffee. I don't shop at Walmart that much, but we found this organic coffee, the Seattle's Best, that my husband likes. It's really, really strong coffee, but he really, really likes it. And because I don't go to Walmart that much, I tend to buy like 6 or 7 of them to get a spy. And so this cabinet had just become too full. It's usually my tomato bin. So I'm so glad that this bin is going to get to go back down to just a tomato-based Italian bin. I use this bin for spaghettis and pizzas and even like tomato-based soup recipes. And so that is going to be super nice. Now we'll take all of this stuff over to the coffee bar and try to find its new home. I don't know if you guys are the same way in your homes or not, but we are divided on our favorite kind of coffee. My husband loves incredibly strong coffee, which I don't mind it every now and then, but my favorite coffee is just a nice, rich flavor that does have some strength to it, but is not bitter and like totally overwhelming, that needs like a ton of creamer to be enjoyed. And so I do try to buy both of our favorite coffee because he does enjoy mine sometimes, but he also enjoys his. So we try to alternate between the coffee that we drink each day. It gives a little bit of variety too. It's almost like going to Starbucks and getting a different order of your favorite coffee. So my husband's favorite coffee is the Seattle Best, and my favorite coffee is Newman's Own. Instead of having to use bins, which are not going to be big enough for this, I have some dividers that was in my son's room when we were decluttering. So let's go grab that. Let's see, I think that I had put them, yep, look, right here, 4 of them, so that we can reuse these. These should be perfect. Let's see if they'll fit. Yeah, I do think that you can adjust the size to get them to fit the place that you want them. I think I want to try to have this part be the one that's shown. Okay, let's see. So really there's only 2 kinds of coffee. Awesome. I think that's going to work perfect. It divides the drawer straight in half. And so we can do his on the right side so it's easier to get to. And we'll have the organic in a line, and then the ones that we've had to buy that are non-organic. And that allows me to stack them too high, so that's perfect because I tend to buy at least 6 at a time when I go to the store if they're on sale, just to be able to not have to go so many times. So we'll put the Newman's on the other side. And once we have some more, that will be good because it can also be there. We also have coffee filters. I tend to buy less of the Newman's Own because my husband's favorite is this one. So let me think. Okay, and then so here's the chocolate mixes. And then this is just coffee filters that are messed up and granules that can be thrown away. So let's dump those. I will maybe use this bin to carry stuff over here to make it easier. So I do want to create an actual coffee bar type station on top of here. Maybe a caddy that swivels to be able to get syrups and have like some little containers for sugar and whatnot. But I don't have that right now, and we don't tend to use these unless people are over here. So I'm gonna store the chocolate syrups in here at this time, and my husband doesn't really reach for this sugar that much, so let's put it in here too for right now. until we get through the rest of the organization. This chocolate mix, since it's an actual drink, I think I am gonna throw it up here. And I do have some more of these caddies. I've had these forever in our house, and so it's nice to actually be using them now if this fits. Perfect size. Okay, so I think that's nice. My camera, I had turned it off to go check on my son. Forgot to turn it back on, but I cleaned this out, wiped it out with the method cleaner, and I put the divider in. My idea with this one is sweet and savory snacks for my husband, and I'll use this bin to tote them over. So these are his favorite crackers, and I buy them in bulk, as well as the honey buns when they're on sale. I do the same with his cookies that he likes. So we're going to try to move all of those over. And then here's some more cookies and more crackers. The ramen is more soup. Maybe these crackers can be moved next, but I'm gonna just try to focus on these more like truly junk food, snacky type things, I guess you'd call it. Cereal could stay here, and like healthier crackers. I'm not at all opposed to using those black locker style bins on top of here if need be. Maybe on the edge to be able to have quick items for him to catch out the door. I do think he would like that. If I have his quick grab items on top and then I'm just restocking it, it's not really going to matter where they're housed at. I'm trying to think of the ways to make everything the most functional for him as he's using them. One of the things he has told me is that he doesn't really like these containers because once they get opened, the cookies go stale because they don't reseal well. And so what I think I might do, these are the same kind of cookies, and for some reason they're both open. So no wonder they're going stale. But what I think I might do is put the cookies here that need to be refilled, but I was originally going to use this bin for cereal, but it may work better for cookies because he can open this lid and reach in and grab them out. But I'm not sure. Let's just put them in place and see where we're at. Here's his crackers he likes. Oh good, those fit 3 high, so that saves some space. Here's honey buns, so we definitely have more sweet stuff. Then we do savory, so let me move that over. Let's see. If we do honey buns here, slide over the cookies. I think what I might use this bottom shelf for is protein bars, maybe. And they are stored over here. This here is a full bag of trash that we already have from emptying and decanting all of this stuff. So that's exciting. getting out more things to free up space in our house. Our protein bars right now are stored here for quick grab, and then candies up here for quick grab. So I may still rehome this over here with the coffee bar, but my protein bars are down here on the bottom, and it would be nice to actually have them over here so that this could just be protein powder. So here's protein bars. This is all of the stuff that I use to make protein shakes with. But we buy these in bulk too. So there's a bunch, and they're kind of aggravating to get all the way back here in the back of this cabinet. And so I'd much rather pull a drawer out, even if it is on the bottom shelf, to get these so that I'm not having to get on my knees to get them out of this cabinet. Make sure there's none down here. Okay. So that means that these are a lot more organized now. Okay. Awesome. So let's move these over there. All those boxes, we're going to move them over here to this section of the coffee bar and snack bar now. Now this top drawer, I do want this to be stuff that my husband can easily grab, and this is going to be, I absolutely love this. I got this at a craft fair. This is going to be the spoon rest for the coffee bar once we do it. I don't know if you can see, doesn't look like it's showing up in the video, but it's got some copper colors in it and some dark browns and some blacks plus the teal, and so it just pulls in the cabinet. They kind of look like they're different colors, but on the video, but in person, like right here, it does have colors that pick up the island plus the bar top plus the black aesthetic in the kitchen. So I think that this is going to be really cute. Plus it'll keep my countertop clean. So let's take these out and wipe this drawer out. It'd be awesome if I could just make this honey buns and chocolate bars for my husband, because he's usually going for a honey bun when he's making his coffee, and he already knows that the chocolate bars have been here, like the Reese's kind. So I wonder if we split this, that might work. Again, I know that this is not Pinterest perfect, and I'm just using the organization that I have so not to cost my family any extra money. And I like the fact that I'm able to use up these bins that I have here at the house already. So those are too big. I'm just looking to see if any of this would work. Maybe if I move them over some. But the easy thing is just being able to toss it into a drawer for him, really. These work. And so that would be good to store like the small Reese's in. And then I could, I don't know if the bigger candy bars will fit there, but even if they don't, if I have the small Reese's separated and then his actual candy bars that he likes there, I think that that would work for him. And then if we could just constantly have some of the honey buns up here open for him. So this is going to just kind of be like my backup supply here to be able to fill his sections that he uses, because he works hard for us. He has 2 jobs, and actually 3, because he's actually created his own YouTube channel now too. And So he works really hard, and he's busy, and he stays up late and has little sleep. And so if I can make it easy for him to get out the door and to get the things that he needs, then I want to be able to do that. So I could actually, I usually buy 2 boxes of these at a time, and so it actually looks like just splitting that in half will let us get those in here easy for him. And then that gives us more space. So if I'm constantly buying 2 and it's constantly filling this up for him to grab, this can be his drawer with candy bars, honey buns to quickly grab and go to work. And then we can have the cookie items down here. This is more of what he eats here at the house. And because I was curious if we could get this to fit, let's see, can we make that work? Well, if these are not in here, because I'm combining, I'm opening up this. Let me go wash my hands real quick before we do this. Okay, so my thought process on this, if we have the container that is open, which these look like they've probably been open the longest. I don't know that both of these will fit, but I think I'm gonna try. And again, I'm just trying to use what I have on hand. What I'd really like to get, I don't know if they have them on Amazon, is some that would actually fit, that's more like rectangle or square, that has a pop top like the OXO popped lids. I don't know if you guys seen those, but that would be awesome because you could just leave them in the drawer, open it, get out how many cookies you want, and put them back, where he's gonna have to take this out. But it does have a sealed gasket around the top of it. So it should keep them fresh. And then hopefully with this setup too, if I constantly have the pack that's open on top and he's not reaching into a cabinet and just trying to guess at what has been recently opened, maybe we won't have these multiple containers open like this. So I'm putting the one that looks like it's been open the longest on top so that they can be eat first before they go stale. But that actually is perfect for those for this time. So if we move these cookies over, look at that, perfect fit, perfect fit. Awesome, so excited. So there's our cookies that are open. Of course, these are open too. It looks like we have another pack of the chocolate ones that are open too. So I will fill those as we go out, but I want him to be able to see that we've got regular, mint, chunky. He's got all of the different options. And I'll just make a mental note that the ones on bottom are the ones that can go into that canister next. That gets rid of 2 more things that we were trying to store in the house. And so this is predominantly all of his snacks now. The things that he likes to keep that are his absolute favorite. And I think that's just going to work so much better for our family. And now I'm going to have my entire section over here to actually be able to have cereals and the things that I need to cook with. Let me look through this section up here and see if he has any. Like, here's another honey bun we can put in that drawer. He only has like a portion of the chocolate candy bar that he likes, so we'll put that there too. So here's what it would be full length. So it's actually going to work out great to just have the small ones here and then the full length candy bar. We have a discount store in our area that I'm able to get these for 59 cents. And I don't know the original price, but I think it's close to like $2.50 or maybe even $3 for these Reese's that has the special flavors. Now, the Take 5's not his favorite, but I just grabbed what they had that day. But he likes the Nutrageous and the ones that have like all the different flavors. And I think that'll be perfect to house those there as I get those in too. So that is awesome. So this may not be the traditional way to go through organizing. Most people probably do their aesthetic first, but I really need function over aesthetic right now in our home. I do want to make this pretty. We did go this weekend and buy the paint to be able to finish this wall. Do want to make a nice little coffee area and make it really, really cute, but I needed the extra space in my kitchen. I need this to be able to be the command center and the small pantry, and I needed snacks and drinks and coffee and all of that housed in an area. And I really feel like by flipping the function of these spaces that it's going to give us a lot better use of the kitchen. It's going to zone things in the kitchen too, so that everything for electronics is in one spot. Instead of having our charging station with my Vitamix, fruits and vegetables all mixed together over there, it's going to be able to turn this into more of a functional space, as well as this being an awesome little coffee snack drink bar. This is like my big centerpiece that I do use when people come over. I kind of wonder if I could not maybe still get this down here. So if I turn these sideways, I don't know that it's going to fit. Let's just see if it will fit in the space that I have. Actually, it does. Barely, but it does. Okay, so I wanted that to be able to go down there so I can put this into the bin with the chocolate bars that we keep on top for quick items to go. And it's on this bottom here. I realized while watching this video, it looks like we have a ton of junk food in our house, but I truly only buy the things that are my husband's favorite, because it's truly so much cheaper buying these items on sale in the grocery store and storing them in our house for 6 weeks at a time until I go back to buy them again than it is for him to go into a gas station and buy them where it's a 70% markup. We will move all of these organization containers over to the command center and see if we can use them over there with what we're going to set up. If we get through all of the spaces in our house, we might have some organization containers that we could declutter, and that would be cool too. So there's all of those. Plus we have this labeled chalkboard labels and the chalkboard pen. Caddies, and I found some more gift cards. these over here. I got this corner over here a second ago. This is going to be used to maybe hang some plants from here once we start actually doing the design of this space. I do have an idea of what I want it to look like and how I want it to function. Not only is this freeing up the counter space over here where our pantry and command center is going to be, but it's also going to free up some space from the decorative coffee cups that I have for when people come over. I want to hang and suspend that from the coffee bar shelf that we're going to make, and we're able to do that out of some scrap lumber that my husband has from a job that he finished. So super excited about the design part. Of course, I'm very excited about finishing this wall, painting it, decorating, and getting to the really fun parts of everything. But more than anything, really, I'm excited about having the most optimal function of my kitchen possible. And I really think these zones and flipping the function of all of this is going to be a game changer. I wanted to start with the internal organization of everything first, just because I had so many items that were homeless. So I wanted to start with the internal part of that cabinet to be able to free up space, to be able to really have a vision of what we could use both of these spaces for. Dreary day here in North Carolina for the past 3 days. It has been overcast and rainy, and it went from feeling like 108 degrees to 75, which I'm absolutely not complaining about. I'm a fall girly myself, and so I actually enjoy that. I'm going to take this apart and rinse this, clean those out. I may even actually run those through the dishwasher just so that we have a fully clean setup that we're going to. I'm super excited to actually move this to its new home. So it probably looks crazy that I'm doing all of this before we ever paint the wall, but we left the cabinet itself on furniture sliders, so it's going to be really easy to slide this out, paint this section, and move it right back into place. All right. We have some cute containers that I found on Amazon, and I have a couple gift cards from TJ Maxx and Marshalls that I may try to find them there too to see if they're cheaper, that we'll put these in, but in the meantime we're just going to get them where they go. And another thing I'm going to be excited about is because this countertop is not actually level, it's not going to matter for our coffee pot. Hopefully this section we're moving it to is level, and we won't have to engineer a redneck option to be able to keep it level, to keep it from overflowing. Now, I do have a sad announcement. My Amber cup that I told you guys that I absolutely love so much has decided that it's no longer gonna function. It's like the electronic piece to the bottom of the cup is no longer pairing with the app to keep my coffee warm. Now, I have had this cup for probably 3 years and used it every day, if not twice a day, while I was working from home as a nurse. And so this is gonna be an item that we're decluttering. It's gonna go into the trash because it doesn't work. I have reset the app. I've deleted the app off my phone. I have rebooted everything and connected it back to the software, and it will pick it up and heat it up for a second, and then it loses connectivity again. I don't know if it's the app or if it's the cup, but either way, it's not working, and so there's no point in hanging on to it. I have already put in a request for a birthday wish because this is the best thing ever. I do feel like I got my money's worth out of it. They are fairly expensive. They're on sale right now though for like $114, which is still, I know, crazy for a coffee cup, but they work so good. To have the perfect temperature of coffee every time that you take a drink for 90 minutes, to me, that's like my favorite thing in the morning is my cup of coffee and what I look forward to. So I would highly encourage still and highly recommend this item. I'm not sponsored. I bought this on my own. I've had it for 3 years, and I hopefully will be getting another one to replace this. So this is a sad loss today. Take a moment of silence, and it'll go in the trash. Hey friends, it's another day, and I wanted to show you what our coffee bar looked like after the first day of use. Not totally done setting it up, but We made coffee. It worked really well in this space, not having to fight with the cabinets overhead. I don't know if that's just a personal pet peeve of mine, but I don't like having to slide the coffee pot in and out, which is another reason that I decided to do this, because our cabinets are so low on the other side that you'd have to slide it out every day to fill it to be able to make coffee, and it just got on my nerves. So I really enjoyed that. I love the fact that we have some extra space to be able to make our drinks on, not only just the coffee on, but the fact that now that there's a place here for the drink mixes that we have, that when I made my son's drink last night for dinner, it was just easier because the fridge is right here beside me to make everything here, pour the water in on top of the fruit drink pack, and it just, I don't know, it was a lot nicer than walking across the kitchen. It was just right here. And so our makeshift counter coffee bar that we have made has turned out to be really useful, all in just day one of use. So, but this is what it looks like real life. My husband leaves these water bottles everywhere. He gets these for work, and they tend to find their way into the house too. So when they're left like this and he's not drinking them, I use them to water the dogs so that we don't waste anything. So I'll put that in the laundry room to water them. His spoon is typically left here, you know, life. So I usually wipe the container off for him, and I put the spoon over in the sink, and cookies from last night got left out, but he does like this case. He thinks it's really going to help with it not being stale, and so he was really excited about the cookie container, his junk drawer for his honey buns and for his candy bars, and be able to grab protein bars quickly to go out the door. So I think that this is going to be a really good setup for us, so I'm really encouraged with everything. So I'm going to put this stuff away and get cleaned up, and we'll get started again for today. Carry this to the sink, put it in, and wipe this down while I'm there. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you've not been told today, you do have value, you are special, and I'm really glad that you're here. Please let me know if you like this long form content. Some people may enjoy hearing the thought process of how I make this functional for my family, and some people may rather have this more short, straight to the point. I do value you guys' opinion. There really is power in flipping the function of a piece of furniture that you may already have and not be using, or may not be using it to the best of the ability for your home. So I encourage you to think outside the box. Don't stay stuck in the fact that this has to be a buffet, or it has to be this specific table or area of my kitchen. Make it work best for your family.